What is up, YouTube? So, y'all caught the title again. That's how it goes. Usually that's why you might have clicked on this. But I want to talk to y'all a little bit. I want to give a little bit of tip on something somebody asked me about a while back ago. So I'm really just kind of getting around to it. And that's really just kind of on breakout shooting. A little bit of tip on that can be the difference in sitting at home and practicing it, and then applying that once you get into a game. That little bit of practice can make a world of difference. I've spent so many times, switching hands, trying to be ambidextrous, things like that. I've gotten very comfortable with it. I'm okay with shooting right-handed. I'm dominant left-handed, but I'm okay with right-handed. But it's not just about the shooting thing. I did a little bit of video on, peeking a little bit. I might do something like that again in the future. I do have a video for it if you want to watch it after this one. It's normally just right there. But this one I want to kind of give a tips on a couple things. If you know these sorts of things, or you're only really good at it, well, you're probably not going to be very beneficial for you, but it might be. But something that I've learned over consistently of breakout shooting. And if you don't know what breakout shooting is literally coming off the wall, and as soon as you break out, you shoot. So as soon as you come off the line, as soon as the horn blows or somebody says go, the game has started, it's the very first action you take. Now this can change depending on the platform that you use, whether it's pistol or M4 or SMG, whatever the case might be. If you're shouldering a pistol or your weapon, or you have a pistol. Pistol genuinely are frontline guys. Not too many anchors I've seen play backline. You can, don't get me wrong, but most pistol players are frontline guys. So it's best not to necessarily do this. It's better just to kind of take off and get to your cover and then get in the fight. But this breakout shooting can make a difference between once you get to your structure or cover where you're going. It can make a difference between fighting 5 guys to 4 guys to 3 guys before you even reach that point. And it's very, very useful in that sense. But what I'm saying here is literally, so if I'm taking my rifle, this is something that I do, okay, I've done so many times and I still do it to this day, is literally putting this thing and getting set up as if you were about to break out. So you get to do your own timing with it, all that sorts of things. But it generally, and every time, and the rule goes, not only does your foot have to be there, so it has to be hitting, but your gun has to be touching the wall. You cannot have your gun here and your gun here and wait for them to say go when you're already there. No, you can't do that. You have to have your gun touching the wall, the barrel touching the wall. So when that barrel is sitting on the wall, say there's obviously not a wall behind me, but let's use your imagination there for a moment. Is if I got it on the wall, I don't want it just necessarily free floating. You see how I'm holding this and it's just kind of free floating? I want this stock in my shoulder the same way it would be as soon as I'm shouldered up. So some people like to do it high. I tend to think it's better. I feel more comfortable, whatever, more comfortable for you. But I feel more comfortable having it in my shoulder as if I'm already here. So basically taking this stance and then turning it down. Literally that same exact motion. And you're gonna learn that faster and faster. So getting a squat to that, putting it on that wall, and then just time yourself. Or not necessarily time yourself, but just keep popping that shot off. So not only is it just a sense of, have control on your gun. Yes, you can have the mag well. I hold the mag well pretty often too. But in a sense, have very good control over it. But not only the control, that's gonna come along with muscle memory. Because everybody usually after a while playing, you have muscle memory. You're not necessarily aiming. I have a sight on mine, but I don't aim out of it. It's muscle memory, and then you'll follow the BB from there. But from that general basic, same thing, over and over and over, literally popping out. And when you feel comfortable, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. But staring down that is part of that muscle memory. So if I can see the other structure, the other home player, or I think he's going to, Dorito, if he's going to Snake, whatever the case might be, I'm going to look down that lane and watch for that lane the entire time. Because as soon as the horn blows, your eyes are locked on that, and that muscle memory will take over. Literally off the wall to it, already pulling the trigger. Do not get too nervous or trigger happy. If I have a player next to me, one of my teammates, and I choose to hit this wall and I'm already pulling the trigger and firing before I even get up here, I have a chance of shooting my teammate, and then now we're down, you know, a guy off the rip. They didn't need to shoot him. I did his job for him. But literally that same motion over and over. Just keep doing it. Literally. And always keeping that thing shouldered. And it's not gonna matter. I've ran monks as well, or ESG grips, ERG grips. It's not really gonna matter too much. You're still gonna shoulder that tank in your shoulder, keeping it, you know, hold it as if it's real steel. I get it, it's not a real gun, but treat it as if it's real steel. You wouldn't be out here shooting every gun like this. You'd be shouldering it. Do the same concept. But like I said, over and over and over. And when you get comfortable, pull the trigger, but just keep staring at something on the wall. And unless you're actually shooting, you're not gonna know if you're actually hitting it. But do this the other way. Sometimes you need to switch positions. Sometimes it's gonna be a little bit different. Try it right-handed. Same concept. Up, up. The more comfortable you get with that is gonna be so beneficial, I promise you. Just literally sitting at home, you know, practicing it over and over. And one little tip I had before of switching hands, you can't do it with every gun. You can't. It's easier on these smaller ones that are more PDW type style to be switching them hands. So when you want to switch from this hand to this hand quickly, over and over. So if I'm holding to a structure, here's my structure, imagine it in front of me. I want to be able to peek here quickly, very quickly, but switch hands and be ready for this side. Because if I'm shooting here, but I see somebody running here, this is the wrong move to do. Now I've really exposed myself, but literally being able to switch hands quickly, tuck back behind the object, and engage on it. But being able to do it quickly, over and over. And you can literally sit wherever and do this. If you have an AEG or anything like that it can fire, make sure the mags are always empty. Do not do it with a mag. Don't do it with air anywhere in your house. Be safe about it. I'm not wearing my mask for the sake of the argument right now, so you can hear me. Put your mask on. Get comfortable with it as well. Anytime you're practicing that, just kind of always being comfortable. The more you do it, the more effort you put, the better you're going to get at it. I promise you. It's just practice, practice, practice. You know, makes perfection. We're never all going to be perfect, but everyone has their thing. Get comfortable with it and apply it. I'll catch you on the next video.